Now, Nathan Brake says, this is another good thing we might be able to cover in 5 minutes. Any revelations about Trump's tax returns? Apparently, that's the new story. So I read it. I read an article. I'm following Cernovich's take on it because Cernovich is pretty good. Whatever you think about him, he's a very smart guy. Apparently, Trump didn't pay any federal income tax. I suspect they mean as an individual. I'm not sure. Are you following this? Are you familiar with it?
So 2 things with it. One is it's clearly a mass violation of criminal law. Section 103 of Title 26 of the Internal Revenue Code makes it illegal to ever disclose a person's tax returns. So somebody has been engaging in massive illegal violations of disclosure of Trump's tax returns. I would look at the New York DA's office as a potential source. The Southern District of New York is a potential source. Congress is a potential source. Somebody did something that's clearly illicit and clearly not supposed to happen. So and it's a major, massive violation and the biggest violation of a president's privacy or in American history by a long mile.
If I can stop you there, though, would this not have been already public had Trump disclosed his tax returns as is customary when running for president?
Oh, absolutely. If he had waived his privacy rights, no doubt. But he has an absolute privacy protection of this not being disclosed. And then he could suffer the political consequences for choosing not to disclose it if people so chose. But it's a massive violation, the biggest violation of a high-profile public figure, or at least the president in presidential history that I know of. Massive violation of the right to privacy. So and in fact, you can sue the IRS agents. You can sue anyone else involved under Section 6103. You can even have your attorney's fees be paid for by the IRS or the other side. So it looks to be a massive violation. So that's part one. Part two is the reason why folks are in real estate is because of the tax loopholes. So it would not surprise me at all that Trump has many years where he pays no federal income tax at all. I always suspected that was the case. Otherwise, he would have released his tax returns. So the reason why you're in real estate is you don't pay tax if you know what you're doing. Anybody that's a high-end person that has the right lawyers working for them, that has money from diverse sources of income, can dramatically and drastically and legally reduce their income tax. And so I have no doubt that Trump's in no civil or criminal trouble. They've tried to look at that for forever. There's nothing there. The New York district attorney is trying to create a smoke screen by saying something is there. There's nothing. He's been audited over and over and over again. There's no risk there. Also, every high-end lawyer and accountant has been involved in his tax return preparation. He's got zero criminal exposure, minimal civil exposure. The law was written so that real estate people could use the tax loopholes to build buildings in America. So that's been true since the 1950s. So most of your big real estate developers don't pay a penny in tax if they have any clue on what they're doing.
That's it. And for anybody who doesn't yet follow Cernovich was saying, yes, this fails to take one thing into consideration, depreciation, which I suspect is where
one of the many available. You could do captive insurance, so you could treat reserves as tax-deductible deductions. You can create all kinds of bad debt deductions for deals that go bad, that carry net operating losses that carry forward. Remember, Trump had all kinds of net operating losses from the late 90s.
400 million in the years before, 112 million from what I read on, as we say, on diagonal. Like I read quickly before the stream because the news just broke. But
for folks that don't know, net carry forward loss, you can carry forward for 20 years. So given the problems he had in the 90s, I'm sure he's got massive losses that will wipe off his tax bill. It may be, within a few years, he may be running out of those losses, but that's very normal. So there's nothing illegal about it, nothing unethical about it. People may not like it that a man with that much money doesn't pay tax, but that's a political issue, not a legal issue.
Same issue they have with Jeff Bezos, but it's reality is the millionaires and the billionaires have accountants to strategize. It looks crooked to the rest of us who pay 48% income tax. But yeah,